guys, and welcome to the first video of my Sims 4 Block Party Challenge. I've seen this circulating around on YouTube recently. I know Amber Jet is doing a series and a few others, and I thought that it looked like a lot of fun. So basically, I don't know who made it. I'm on the website right now, and I'm not seeing who made it. So if you let me know, that would be great if you know. But basically the rules are that you have to demolish all of the homes and lots in either Willow Creek or Oasis Springs. I did Willow Creek, and you start with a completely empty new world, basically like New Crest. It says you can use New Crest too, but I thought it would be a little bit more fun to change up Willow Creek. And then in that there must be 2 starter homes costing less than 20,000. There must be 1 park, and it doesn't need to be in the same lot, it could be anywhere you want. There need to be at least 4 other community lots. One home needs to be a large scale mansion costing at least 200,000, and that's basically it. So it's not like a crazy challenge, but it's more of the challenge of like building brand new lots everywhere, and I just really like that idea. And as you know, I've been sick recently, so it kind of was nice to be able to build because I didn't have to like talk or anything. So yeah, I think I built probably like 4 or 5 lots in the challenge already, something like that, or 3 or 4, something. So I'm gonna be putting these up pretty frequently. I'm really excited to fill up Willow Creek with my own lots. This lot was basically in that strip of Willow Creek, like where all the community lots were, and I think this was the library lot. I think it says actually right up there at the top. I can't read it though. Willow Creek Archive, I think it says. Yeah, so that's the library lot. So you can place this lot there. I think it is like a 30 by or 20 by 30 or 30 by 40. Something like that. Again, my screen, it's too small for me to see the lot size, but it'll work anywhere. And basically my idea for this lot, as I'm sure you have well discovered by now if you watch my videos, I love industrial style like buildings. And so since Willow Creek is basically kind of the Sims version of New Orleans, at least that's kind of what I take it as, that's what it reminds me of, and if you read the description it kind of says that in itself without saying that. I wanted this building to look really old, like it had been there before. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was just an industrial building on the main street block, probably some kind of like manufacturing building, or like maybe a printing press building, something like that. So it was not meant to be a restaurant, so the person that turned it into a restaurant, it's kind of like things are kind of mashed in there in a way, like they fit, but it's not laid out like ideally, like it wasn't built to be a restaurant, if that makes sense. So I kind of like that. I think that it makes it a little bit more realistic, a little bit more interesting, if you will. So that is kind of the basis. I did put modern windows around, like it has been upgraded a bit, you know, new windows and such, so it's not like just an old building, but I actually really like the way it turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. And I did put in these little like planter sections in the sidewalk and in the front of the building, which I think turned out really neat. And I like that it's right next to like that playground area, so if a family comes here and the kid is done eating early, like there's big windows right there, so they could easily go over and play on that play structure, and it would be, you know, perfectly fine. And it has like a nice back patio area where you could, you know, I should have put a gate there. In retrospect, I should have put a gate there, but I didn't want people going in and out through the back entrance. But you could add a gate, and then the people could just go out and play until their food comes or whatever. And then there are 2 bathroom stall places upstairs that are kind of a little bit funky, and I just think that it's really cool. I like it a lot. It is called Gino's Restaurant. It is on the gallery, and you might have to turn on custom content. I didn't use custom content, but there's been this glitch in my game where it's saying that there's building custom content when there's not, so it might be filtered out. So that's kind of lame, but excuse me, it is not the end of the world. I use the red brick. I do change the flooring because I think that the black floor is just a little bit too dark. I end up going with like a bright kind of orangey floor just to kind of lighten things up a little bit. And the way I overlapped those awnings, it looks really cool from the outside, but you know, it's kind of hard to play from the front of the building, I'll admit that much. So if you do like to keep your walls up, you'll probably be used to like maneuvering around them, but if you keep your walls down, it does get a little bit irritating, so you will have to like flip the camera the other direction. Initially I was going to put booths there, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I actually switched it out for a table. I think I do lot traits on this, and I make it like romantic and like a chef's kitchen and stuff, but there are bigger tables, so you don't have to bring like a romantic date here. It could be like a family dinner or a group of friends. And I use a lot of blue in the build because I thought that it looked nice in contrast with like the red brick and the orange flooring, and I don't know, I'm pretty happy with it. It's been a minute since I've built a restaurant. I haven't built very many restaurants, so it was fun to do. And I kind of put the waiter stations here at the front. It was kind of awkward building, like trying to fit everything that needed to fit in this building with the way it was shaped. Like I did it on purpose. I wanted it to be a little bit funky shaped so that it didn't look like it was built to be a restaurant, but it did make for a little bit of maneuvering trying to figure stuff out. And excuse my voice, I am still getting over my cold. It's the tail end of it, so I am kind of like nasally sounding, so I'm sorry for that if it is, you know, annoying or whatever. I was gonna put a bar right here, but I realized that it was just kind of big, and I really struggled trying to fit like a restaurant size bar in here. Eventually I just cave and we put a small bar in like the back area, and I think it worked out. I wanted to put these beams to make it look like they were supporting the upstairs, but they really didn't look good in the middle of the room, so I put them next to the, ooh, excuse me, hiccup. I put them next to the stairs, and I think that it looks kind of nice there. I do leave them. I think that it just adds that kind of industrial touch to it. I was going to put like metal pipes around the place too in the walls, but because it is kind of a smaller building as far as having places for everybody to sit, I didn't want to add more crampedness to that, if that makes sense, so I end up not putting piping in the walls. I don't know. I do really like these mason jar lights, but unfortunately I realized that there's a big open level upstairs, so I couldn't use them everywhere. So I think I end up deleting the one that's hanging above, yeah, that table, because it didn't really make sense to have it over the one and not the others. I do leave them over that big table though, because it's kind of like the family table, so it's a little bit more special, and it's like got the really nice view of the windows. I also use those divider, or those beam things, like a divider from the waiter station, so you don't have to like see the waiter's station, obviously. I do manage to squeeze in booths over here. I was gonna divide them again. I didn't think it looked very good or, you know, realistic because that part is an open level, so I end up just putting a plant there instead. Oh, I changed the divider. I thought I kept it those beams, I guess. Oh, that's right, because that part's open too, and I thought it would look weird, so I went for a smaller divider, but still same basic principle. And I just use one of those potted like topiary plants. I used a lot of artwork with like blue in it because I thought that it complemented everything really nicely. I'd say overall I was really inspired by like those kind of really old restaurants that you see. They're like kind of hole in the wall restaurants, but they've been there for, you know, like 50 to 100 years, and they're just like, they're those restaurants that you would never think of going to, but then like you talk to somebody local and they're like, oh my god, they make the best, you know, I don't know, the best spaghetti in the world or whatever, and they just like become those features of the community, if that makes sense. And I just really felt like a town that has this much history and that is as old as Willow Creek is supposed to be. I just thought that it kind of made sense to include one of those types of restaurants in the town, so that's what I did. And you can see I put in the small bar, and then I do, in lieu of the mason jars, go around and put candles on the tables. But then I'm like, you know, that's a lot of candles, so I switch it out, and instead I put little roses on the table, like a single rose, because I just think it's very classic. Like, if you think of like old school classic like Italian restaurants, that's just what I picture, so that's what I put down. And I think it's just it's like traditional in a way, and I like that. I think that it suits the town, and I do set the menu as best as I can. I'm not like an expert on Italian food, but I tried my best, and I set the menu to be kind of like Italian inspired, and I made sure to include vegetarian options as well, so that all Sims can come to this restaurant and enjoy. And this is this is the kitchen, and if you've ever played with the restaurants in The Sims 4, they don't really use most of the kitchen, like most of it's just for show. I considered putting in another chef station, but I didn't know if restaurants could actually function with more than one chef station. Like, you guys are gonna have to let me know, because I was afraid if I put in another one that it might glitch out and not work or something, so I did not do that. But I thought that it was kind of neat to put the kitchen here because it's open windows, so like when people walk by they can see like into the kitchen and see the chef at work, and I just thought that that was kind of cool. And I decorated with the essential kitchen supplies, and I think we even put a trash can in here. I should have put a fire extinguisher. I didn't even think about that. That's a bummer. I don't know, but I did player test this restaurant and it works just fine, so rest assured that you will have a good time here. Oh, and I also made the one of the, what is that, lot traits? What is that? Convivial or whatever? I forget how you say it, but it's basically like you're gonna have a good time if you go there. So it's not like a party place, but it's good for social interaction, so it would be good for a romantic date or for like a friendly outing. And the food should be good because I put a chef's kitchen as the other lot trait. So hopefully your Sims will have a good meal when they come here as well. And I tried to include a lot of different options, like I said, in the menu, and I think that saves when you download it. So yeah. If you want to download this, you can search Gino's Restaurant, like I said before, and if you can't find it that way, then you can look up ToriSimz1, which is my username on the gallery, or you can search the hashtag ToriSimz1, same thing, or you can search hashtag, let me look up their hashtag really quick, I don't remember it. It is hashtag Sims for Block Party. So there should be all kinds of lots on there so that you can make your town. And I am really going to try to make all of the lots on in Willow Creek. And then when I'm finished, I will kind of show you where I laid them out so that you can do the same in your own game. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Well, in the narration, the video is going to keep going, but I'm having a hard time talking because I'm still kind of sick, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. You go ahead and watch the rest of the video and let me know what you think in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed. Leave some lot ideas for me down in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone!
Fingers.